Hey guys, I wanted to take a few minutes and talk about a trend in the bigger CrossFit community about scoring results and really trying to go RX in workouts. So let's talk about what RX is. RX will show up in a workout, typically in other CrossFit gyms. It'll be a movement and two weights next to it. It'll be a guy's RX weight and a girl's RX weight. What RX means is that for the top level competitors, if this is going to show up in a competition, these would be the weights that we would be using for that movement. So, does RX make sense for everybody? And is it something we should be striving for? In our opinion, the answer is no. So, what we provide here at CrossFit City Limits is a third category. And we give a percentage based off of your 1 rep max. So, this is extremely important. So, for us, this percentage is RX. So instead of you going 95 or 65, what we want you doing is using 22.5% of the lift. So this number will change up and down, but it'll give you the best advice for you on what you should be doing that day. So as you guys know by now, is we do our programming in cycles. We do typically a hypertrophy cycle, a strength cycle, and a peaking cycle. And we may have a few or many of those, but that's the typical order, where hypertrophy, we're trying to build muscle. Strength, we're trying to strengthen the muscle we've built. And peaking, we're trying to learn how to use all of this newly built strong muscle. So that's our general thing. Within those, we want to control our volumes and intensities. Volume is how many reps we're doing. Intensity is how heavy are each of these reps. We want to really control those to get the best workout possible for you. So the term we like to use is MRV, or maximal recoverable volume. So what MRV means is for each person, and it's different for every person, so we kind of have a range here, is there is a maximum number of reps at different intensities that you can do to keep progressing. If we go beyond that number, so say if you're using 50% of a max, we'll just make up a number here, and let's say the maximal recoverable volume at 50% of a max is 50 reps. That means every rep around that, working up to that 50 number, is going to make you better. Beyond 50, so rep 51 no longer makes you better than you would have been if you would have stopped at 50. Rep 51 now actually makes you worse than what you would have been if you would have stopped at 50. Rep 52 makes you even worse, and so on. So we're trying to find that perfect number. So when you work out, you get worse, and then as you recover, we get better. So we're trying to max out those peaks from your recovery. So if we go rep 51, 52, and so on, it's going to dig us deeper into this hole. Then when we make that bounce out, we're not going to bounce as high. So more is not better. The right amount is the right amount. And what we're trying to do with our program is max you out on what you're getting out of every single workout. So I wanted to use this example. It came up the other day in class. And I wanted to use this example because this is a classic 95-65 with deadlifts. This is a weight that everybody in the gym could potentially handle for a workout. So if we wanted to do a gym competition, this would be a great weight to kind of put an even playing field in everyone and just see who's the best. Our training is not a competition. Our training is in classes. We're trying to get the absolute best results for you individually. So if you're going at these RX numbers, just because they're lighter today, maybe you're now using 50% of a max instead of 22.5% of a max. What that does is now you're no longer following our program. So maybe you get to write your name and you want to write RX next to your name, but that's not the point. The point is getting you the best results possible. So in every workout we do, in all of these different rep schemes and intensities, there's a minimum amount of volume that we need to do to get results. There's an optimal number that we need to do, and then there's a maximal number where, like we talked about, every rep beyond that maximal number makes you worse than if you would have stopped in these ranges. So what we're trying to do is our prescribed is this number, and this puts you in this range. Some days it depends where we are in the cycle, and some days on purpose we're going to be a little shy of optimal. Some days on purpose we're going to be really pushing close to that maximal, and that's where a lot of the variation comes in. But all the time we're trying to keep you within this range to get you the highest jumps from your recovery. So in class, the goal is not to ultimately go RX. We put these numbers as a reference to what best in the world competitors are doing in workouts. Our RX is actually the percentage. So stick to the program. The program is the percentages. And then that way we can maximize the results you're getting from every class. All right, see you soon.